Hey everybody, this is Brian here. This is going to be my top 10 challenges for a better day. This is going to be along a number of different subjects, things that you could just either challenge yourself mentally to do, or just simple little things that you could do to have a better day in the face of mundane challenges or people who are assholes and just kind of fuck up your vibe. So, number one on here, if you're looking to waste less time and to just get back into things when you're in a rut, number one on here is going to be pretty simple and pretty quick. It's going to be to stay the hell off Facebook for just one day. It's a sinkhole. It's a pit toilet to basically bob for apples in. It's a real time waster. There's no better time waster on the internet than Facebook, and I guess I know that from experience because I've wasted hours on there before, and and this is a YouTube video, so it's not like I can really judge anyone for being on the internet very much. But at the same time, if you're looking for a better day, I think to get out of a rut, one way to start off is to stay the hell off Facebook for a day. Um, Number two on here is that most arguments started and they center around the words my, me, mine, you, and not us and we. And those words that signify symbiosis and cooperation, I think they'll get you a lot farther. So, number two on here is not to use those egoically divisive words that I was talking about, my, me, mine, you, and to instead use group two, the we and us, wherever you can. And I think see where it ends up at the end of the day. Obviously, this is around, around like a spectrum. You can't use those words only throughout the whole day. That would probably be pretty hard and pretty confusing. So just wherever you can, just do your best. I think you'll be surprised where you end up, in a good way. Number three is to express yourself more. I think this is one of the best things on the list that you can do for yourself. This can be done through words, just being more honest with people on your real feelings and intents and thoughts, or it can be done through art and hobbies if there's things that you feel you want to keep secret and you want to maybe express it through a drawing or through a poem. Those are two ways that I found help get my emotions out, even if I don't really want to talk to them about or talk to other people about them, and I find them embarrassing. But the important part is to not shove down your identity because you feel like society doesn't accept you or other people don't like you the way you are. To not be embarrassed of who you are, uh, to, to be accepting of yourself is one of the most important things on here. Depression often comes from repression, and the opposite of repression is expression. Um, Anyways, number four on here, challenge number four, is to make music a fundamentally larger part of your life. Start day one on an instrument or give a chance to some type of new music or musical content, a new artist that you wouldn't normally listen to. Listen to rap or listen to some modern music if you're kind of, one of those people like me that's kind of stuck in the past and thinks that good music kind of died in 1979 or something. So yeah, I don't know. Give something new a chance. Um, or if you're one of those people who's more into what's on the radio now and you don't really know anything about musical history or the past, I don't mean that in a condescending way. I'm just saying maybe look back, do a little bit of research. Either way, the point is to gain something new musically. So what you find and what you enjoy is really the important part here. But yeah, so give some chance to changing your own normalcy. Consider musical therapy and songs that relate to your mood. And if you have depression at all, maybe consider the fact that music that kind of, I guess, music that kind of, what's the word I'm looking for here? Music that kind of resonates well. Music that resonates well with your mood. That's the important part here. Music that resonates with your mood. Look at if you're listening to depressing stuff. I don't want to say depressing shit, but look at if the music that you're listening to is really lowering your frequency. Yeah. let's get on to number 5 on here. Even though this is a 1-day challenge, this may be a 2-part video of all things. Okay, number 5 on here is on a completely different level. This is a little bit more of a physical level. Number 5 on here is to keep a basic food log for 1 day. This is kind of a health tip, kind of a health challenge, you know. If you ever felt self-conscious about your weight, you know, I'm 199, but I used to be 267 as a 6 foot tall man, you know, and that's pretty heavy. But yeah, I think that this helped me lose some of that weight off and get down to a more comfortable level. Yeah, just if you ever felt self-conscious or just kind of went to bed in July with a Thanksgiving belly and you didn't really know how to reduce that stuff down because you're having trouble keeping track of it. Just keep track of the basic things, just portion, meal, time, maybe calories, perhaps drinking water. That's a good way. You don't want to drink your calories, obviously, so try to eliminate things like fruit juice that often has just like vitamin C tablet added in, and then it's just a bunch of high fructose corn syrup. So sub in water whenever you can is a good tip. But yeah, you know, I think that this also helped me in terms of being an epileptic as a way to deal with my short-term memory loss. If I had ever forgotten, hey, what did I just eat? That's an easy way to end up overeating a lot if you don't remember what you just ate an hour ago. So yeah, it'll help you whether you're sick or whether you're well, or whether you're normal. Okay. Number 6 on here is to chart screen time, like on the computer or on video games. Um, you know, not just today, but routinely. I think that it can be a little unpleasant seeing the real length of time that Apple swallows from our day. You know, seeing the real length of time, it can be a little bit embarrassing actually when you're like, wow, I just spent 5 hours sitting here and fucking pressing buttons. What have I done? You know, what have I done today? I know it's 2019 and that it's almost impossible to stay off the screen entirely, stay off your iPhone if somebody calls you or, you know, just want to relax at the end of the day after work or school. So I know that it's a little bit of a spectrum, but just do the best you can. This is a YouTube video after all. Um, just set a goal to lower things gradually. You'll find a lot more free time to be productive in other ways. This is kind of along with the Facebook thing. It helps you to gain time in other ways, and you'll find that you have a lot stronger legs to stand on if you're not constantly sitting down in a chair. Okay, number 7 on here. This is one of the more I guess one of the more, I don't really want to say amorphous, but one of the more, um, I guess, more like a challenge yourself kind of thing. I want you to challenge yourself to reimagine the things that bother you on a daily basis. Look at each issue as a tree almost, starting from the roots up. Often the sort of investigative thinking and perspective exploration will lead you to more understanding of the situation. You know, just to ask why, it helps a lot. And it'll also lead you to a lot of empathy because you'll see things from other people's points of view too. And that'll lead to a lot of solutions that were, you know, kind of forehead slapping level right there in the open, and we just didn't realize that we'd missed them. Sometimes people's stubbornness or their own ego can actually lead them to tripping over their own feet a lot more than they'd like to admit. Not that anyone would really like to admit that at all. Okay, just 1 second. Okay, all right, let's get to number 8 on here. Look at yourself in a mirror in a daily basis and say, I love you. I know it sounds a little weird. It's kind of, there's kind of a social, like, I guess, stereotype that if you talk to yourself, you're crazy or something. If you feel self-conscious about that, then just think it in your head. Think, you know, I'm a good person. I love myself. I'm important in my own daily life. And I think that if you actually do this on a daily basis, or at least just start today, and it'll really improve your self-esteem. Just kind of Think of the pyramids of Giza. It's one brick at a time, gradually. If you just add those, um, you'll never you'll never really believe where it ends up after some work. Uh, Try doing it also maybe once a day for each time that you're insulted or you feel bad about yourself, and maybe there's self denigration involved. Um, kind of like a compensation. Think, I love myself each time you thought something that wasn't quite that kind. Number 9 on here is going to be to define yourself. If you feel like you are lost, kind of in terms of identity, and you don't really know who you are, at least say a message of love. We say it to our families every day, so why not to ourselves? Why are we any less deserving than the people we love? Shouldn't we love ourselves? Many times we take in externalities like age, weight, looks, money, or other people's unkind definitions of our gender and race and skin color. These kind of things we take in as an easy way to define ourselves. But that's really unkind. If you thought about your proudest and most cringy moments in your life, I bet that it wouldn't be defined by your belt line. I bet you would feel a lot prouder that those things didn't really define you, those superficialities. Write it down as a signifier of a starting place, at least, that those things didn't really define you when push came to shove. Define yourself. That's number 9 on this list. Number 10, we're getting towards the end of this video. I think it might actually be a one part. I challenge you to start over, weirdly enough. I want you to look, at least to the greatest possible extent, to start over the day, kind of like you would on New Year's. Look forward or look at the moment. Try not thinking backwards, because it'll lead you to backward steps in the same direction. Um, Try on a smaller scale that kind of New Year's resolution freshness. It's better to have a fresh start with, you know, uh, than things like memories and nightmares of ex-girlfriends or dead relatives or old misfortunes or tragedies. So try not to let the past define you, and I know that's easier said than done, but at least try working on it, and in a one-day sense, challenge yourself to make that kind of fresh start on a daily basis a routine thing for you, or at least to work at it. Anyways, I love you guys, and I hope that no matter what problems you may face, if any, then this has helped you in some sense. I tried to have a variety of different topics covered on here. Obviously, I'm no guru, or I'm not the coming Messiah, obviously, but from my life experience, these are things that I think can really help people in a wide variety of scenarios. So I love you guys, and yeah, I think this is probably the most important video on my channel. So if you stuck around to the end, yeah, I love all of you, and I hope that you have a good day and a good coming new year, 2 weeks in late.